larger contractor members, and it's really to hear from them where they are on their net zero journey, what they want from BESA, and what they need to be advising their clients and stakeholders.
Today we're meeting as a roundtable event to talk around our common interests and understanding of net zero and try and find a lot of common ground, hopefully, to move things forward from an MEP perspective in the industry.
You can look across the window and see on the roof of every building there are HVAC systems. We are a big manufacturer of these systems, and we're really interested in talking to the contractors that deliver these solutions to these buildings to understand how we're going to get all of these buildings to net zero.
I was invited to join the roundtable to discuss net zero carbon in the MEP industry, discuss some of the challenges, some of the common challenges that we will face, and I guess understand some of the ways that we might be able to overcome those challenges. So in Skanska, our carbon target includes scope 1, 2 and 3, which is our supply chain emissions, and so a really big important part of us reaching that is working with our supply chain on how to measure and then reduce carbon.
Whenever we're talking to our client about our science-based target and how we're going to be able to support them with their carbon reductions, we also have to be mindful that we've also got a lot of suppliers that we have to support in order to achieve what we need to. So we are starting to understand what the challenges are and to really help them with those challenges in a safe and collaborative environment.
Historically, the environmental or sustainability aspect to any tendering or work winning opportunity was always last thought. So the whole sustainability element in general, it's not about quick fixes, it's about the long-term thinking, and that long-term thinking needs absolute collaboration and forward planning.
Everyone's emissions relate to everyone else's emissions. Your scope 3 is someone else's scope 1 and 2. If everyone's just doing their own thing, then that person might get somewhere, but net zero, climate change, sustainability is a global issue, so it needs global collaboration, and we can at least start in our industry.
Buildings perform far worse than they're designed to. So with that, we're using more energy than we should. So I think that's a key thing, is to be able to associate a cost to carbon so that it becomes the right choice from a cost perspective as well as from a net zero perspective.
What we're finding now is that more and more projects are asking for the net zero requirement, and it has become a primary decision of who wins or loses a job. And obviously, in terms of sustainability, again, it's something that we feel very strongly about, and it's central to the core values of the business.
I think today, if it's shown me anything, it's shown that everyone has similar concerns and similar desires for the future as well, and I think there's a lot of collaboration that can be had from today's discussions, definitely. So yes, I think there's 100% need for some more legislation to standardise and to regulate how we both calculate, measure and report an embodied and operational carbon, especially in the built environment. I think it's very important.
I was surprised to hear that most of the people in the room thought that some standardised legislation would be really, really welcome in this area. One of the main themes that's come out of the conversation is the need for consistency in the information that's provided. And if we can get some consistent information and get everybody on the same page, understanding exactly what they're being asked for and exactly what they need to provide, then we should be able to make this transition a lot easier.
Two things have stood out for me today. So the first is around that real passion, that desire for greater collaboration. So larger players supporting smaller players in their supply chains, actually sharing information and coming together. So there's real commitment now for our BESA Net Zero group, so that's really pleasing. And then secondly, it's around the role that group and that BESA need to play around championing common standards, common language, common understanding. That's going to be key going forward.